So far this week, as part of your 5-day superpowered self challenge, you've been exploring what it might be like if you were, in fact, a real life superhero. The first 2 days were spent envisioning if you did, in fact, have superpowers, what might they be and why? And what might your kryptonite possibly be that could reduce your energy or create stress in your otherwise superpowered self? And then yesterday for day 3, you discovered that you do, in fact, have real life superpowers, those superpowers that are represented by your elemental style. Those superpowers are those special skills that you have unique to you that help you show up heroically for yourself and for others. And you also started to detect what stressors or what kryptonite might creep in when you become overwhelmed or when those superpowers maybe get a little too strong. So, yesterday I had you start thinking about what your elemental style may be. And then I asked you to take the elemental style assessment to get a little bit more specific about what your top 1 or 2 dominant elemental styles were. Were you more of a water? Were you more of a fire, a wood, and earth, or a metal? Now, those superpowers that you discovered, they were in fact the ones that could help you understand what might help you power up, but also what might stress you out. Now that you've discovered what your elemental styles are, we're going to dive deeper into understanding the elemental styles of others and how they can possibly bring out the best in you and you in them. If you remember, each of the elements are both dependent on and can sometimes create stress within the various elements that are at play. For example, with water, we talked about how waters can go with the flow, how they have wonderful imaginations and a sense of play, yet they can sometimes feel a bit overwhelmed or get too deep in their own feels. For a wood, remember, they are fearless, determined. They will push change forward and they will put plans into action, but they can be a little stubborn and not necessarily easy to move. For our fires, remember, they are balls of energy, balls of fire, always ready to embrace the next new idea, encounter, event, and so on. They can embrace a sense of fun and they will be a cure for boredom or get anyone unstuck when they are deep in their feels or really focused on a particular matter. But they can sometimes appear flaky and unreliable, and sometimes they can struggle to focus. For our earths are all about staying grounded and connected. They are givers, they're thoughtful, they're compassionate. They always want to be helpful, sometimes going above and beyond what's asked of them, or occasionally in sacrifice of their own goals or intentions. They also can sometimes be hesitant to speak up or maybe be over helpful, and they might be resistant to change. And lastly, if you remember with metals, metals are detailed. They like structure, precision, a greater seeking of higher knowledge and understanding. They love change and getting things done to a sense of completion. They like the idea of growth and progress. But because they have such high standards for themselves and others, they can often get stuck in the cycle of perfection versus progress. And they can occasionally come off as being cold or distant because they are so focused on that growth and those next steps. So, what I'd like for you to do today is to take a few minutes and think about the other folks in your life, the other people and the other elements in your life, in whatever teams that you are a part of, whether it's your friends, your family, your work, and so on. Think about what their elemental styles may be. So that's your challenge for day 4. Start plotting out what elemental styles you have in your life outside of yourself within the various teams that you're a part of. And then, if you're so inclined, share the elemental style assessment with them to have them start to identify what their superpowers are and how they can be heroic for themselves and for you and others too. So I hope that you enjoy this. I look forward to seeing your feedback, as well as some of the other elements that you might have in the various teams in your life and work. So keep up the great work, and we will meet one more time tomorrow for day 5 of our Superpowered Self Challenge here on the Painted Porch.